Buckle up, boys and girls. We're going to dive into this game called 1v1 LOL, a blatant ripoff of everything Fortnite, something that a first-year art student would make in MS Paint. I mean, come on, my grandma's Motorola Razr from the 2000s had better graphics than this. But let's take a look at it. I mean, there's some things that it does well, there's some things that it does bad. Let's take a look. So looking a little deeper, I mean, there's the pretty standard stuff. Battle Pass, you know, you expect most free-to-play games to have a Battle Pass. Cash to in-game currency option in the shop, again, pretty standard. When it comes to game modes, again, you're looking at basically a Fortnite ripoff. You're looking at zero build, no materials, you know, Battle Royale, practice range training, which I did. Some of the guns felt weird, and I mean, going back to those sounds, the sounds are like genuinely just from Fortnite. So, I mean, to the credit of the game, the gunplay feels good, the hit registration feels good. Shotguns have quite a bit of range. Snipers feel good. The damage fall off or the drop off for the bullet and leading targets still is something that I'm not too sure about. It wasn't blatantly apparent. I would have liked to see maybe more of a bullet tracer, but yeah. When it comes to actual in-game player versus player combat, it's not too bad. I mean, like I said, the hit registration is pretty good. The footsteps, I mean, they sound like you're throwing pillows on the ground. You can't really hear anything. You can't hear somebody walking up, basically, unless you stop. Some differences you could see when you open chests and stuff. You don't have to press any buttons, so you just kind of open it, stand next to it, and get the loot. But it's one of those things where it's such a small game that you're going to get into, like, I think it's max of 16 people on that little map, and you don't ever get that 16 people. And to go back to the noise of the footsteps, I mean, I've heard more exciting noises in a library. The sound effects, it's just not comparable to, you know, the full-on World War III simulators that you have in your living room with sounds nowadays with video games. So, yeah, it just doesn't even compare. Something interesting they do though is there is at a certain level your jetpack just pulls by itself, so everybody's landing at relatively the same time, which is, and of course there's elements to get you to interact with their monetized content. Free spins, you get one every so often. I think it was something like once every day. So yeah, just something for the player to engage with their shop, basically. Something I'm not too sure about is when you damage a wall, you basically get the ability to see through it. So you can see I'm above somebody and I damage the walls, and now I am now looking down on them. Which, to be fair, you can see both ways, so he could have seen me, but I'm not too sure how much I like that. And now to what the game apparently is all about. It has its own quick matchmaking for 1v1s, player versus player 1v1s. And as you'd expect, it's pretty sweaty. It's not exactly the easiest. I don't like the walls that you have in this game either. They're very weak. One sniper just blows it up. You know, a couple shots from an AR just drops the walls. So the walls don't really do much as far as providing cover. They maybe soak up one or two bullets, but it's not, yeah, it's not the best. I mean, all jokes aside about the game, for being a free-to-play, it's enjoyable. It's something that you can waste 10, 15, 20 minutes on. The only annoying part is that if somebody was to get really into the game, you know, you can't continuously play it. You run out of your energy, essentially. It's like a mobile game. And you have no way of getting it back unless you pay money. They do have sort of a half-assed rank system, where you can gather trophies for getting a dub or whatever, and getting kills, you get the more trophies, yada yada yada, kind of standard stuff. And that goes into it. You're just, I didn't notice you lost trophies for doing bad, so it's not like a full-on competitive thing. I think it's just an overall ranking. So I don't know if there's matchmaking in between that or not. I couldn't really tell you. They do have some interesting custom games that looked like. I didn't get to try them because I wasn't playing with anybody, but you know, you have something called Farm, City Zone, Mini Box, whatever. Stuff that could probably be fun if you were playing with multiple people. The last thing I tried was the Zombies game mode. It was alright. I mean, you could play, you basically just drop in with infinity ammo, and you are surviving waves of zombies. You can build, obviously. The time in between rounds is pretty crappy. You know, you don't have that much time to actually build something. And then going back to what I said before, the walls are just way too weak. So the zombies just break it down, and eventually you get your ass ran down, and then they like wind fury your ass basically and hit you like 5 times at once, and then you die. So I mean, it wasn't bad, it wasn't terrible. I think the last thing you should take away from this is the fact that, like, you know how you went to the store with your mom when you were a kid and asked for chips or whatever, and she said no, you had chips at home. Basically, this is if you asked your mom for Fortnite, no, we have Fortnite at home type deal. So I'd give it a shot, see what you think.